Welcome to Hearts and Stripes, your one-stop shop for all things military marriage. I hope our discussions and interviews equip you with the tools to start or grow a beautiful marriage as we address the benefits and challenges of MILF marriage. I believe life's most precious moments are worth celebrating, so I'll help you design your marriage blueprint in alignment with your core values. Thank you for joining us, and remember to rate, subscribe, and review. Let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hearts and Stripes. I am excited for this heart to heart. I am Bree. I am your host here, and I am so grateful that you are with us. We are here to celebrate authentically and to bring marriage back in style by having strong military marriages. That's what we're doing here, and I'm so glad that you can be a part of the family. So today I have to talk about a topic that has been all over social media. I was really trying to avoid it. It's a little bit of a sore spot for me, but I felt that you have to speak from a place that causes you some I don't know, resistance or just some pain, some annoyance, even a place that you might be pissed off about. I mean, excuse if that was harsh for y'all, but we're here to have real talk. So we're gonna have real talk today, and it's all about surrounding this word that is just all over. It's entanglement. There, I said it, entanglement. And for those who are unaware, maybe you've been living under a rock, Will and Jada Pickens Smith have been going through it based off of the allegations that a singer named August had made regarding a relationship that he had with Jada Pickens Smith. Now, Will and Jada have been married since 1997, and they have been pretty honest about having a, tough relationship. They had problems. They're not saying that it was picturesque. People knew that they were separated for some time, and I believe they were separated about a couple years ago, like almost 3 years ago. And it's funny that now the singer is bringing this relationship to light for all of our entertainment and enjoyment, which I think that's kind of rude. I do have a theory about why it's happening now. But we'll get to that. And August is making allegations about this relationship. Well, because Jada has the Red Table, which is a highly viewed show on Facebook, she decided to bring herself to the Red Table with her husband, Will Smith. And I really appreciate the fact that they took the time to have this conversation. Originally, Jada kind of didn't want to address the comments, even saying that, August's allegations were not correct or what have you. But she spoke her truth at the Red Table. And I know some people may be rolling their eyes at this episode, but that's okay, because we're going to have real talk. We're going to talk about entanglement, because I think there are some powerful lessons that we can learn in this situation regarding that Red Table conversation and regarding entanglement. So one of the before we get into those three things, I would like to say that a little message of encouragement, even that August decided to bring this up almost 3 years later, a couple years later, after the relationship had ended. And on the Red Table, if you watch the episode, and I'll link to it in the show notes, you'll see that Will and Jada are like, well, I don't know why they're talking about this now. Why he's bringing it up now. And I actually got a little excited when I heard them say that. And I believe that you cannot speak from a place that you're still bleeding. And what that means is, if August had come out and had this whole conversation, all these allegations, when the couple was still having problems in their relationships, then they may not be able to walk through this moment of public scrutiny the way they are right now. And not to say that they're walking through it very, that it makes it easier now, but I feel like it's an old situation for them. So they're able to address it the way they are. They're able to have that Red Table. And it's just very interesting how the timing that this has come out has allowed them maybe the opportunity to heal as a couple, to come together, and be a united front. I mean, Will jokes about it, and he's just like, he feels like that husband that's just at the press conference, like, yeah, I love my baby. I'm just here holding her hand. I got you, boo. But they're dragging his wife's name through the mud. Nobody wants to hear that. There are so many memes and jokes. They have Will's facial expression up next to image of him from The Pursuit of Happiness, making that same sad face. Like, dude looked like he was still hurt having the conversation. But ooh, imagine if they were having that conversation when it was fresh, when it was going on. Would their marriage be where it is? Maybe, maybe not. And I think that the timing that August picked may be beneficial to the story and the conversation that we're having now. We might not be able to have the same conversation about the lessons that we can learn through this red table had he maybe outed their relationship sooner. Okay, so I just wanted to give you that. Think about that timing of some things, and how maybe if you have something that that you need to address in your relationship, or something that you are healing from, you might need to give it some time before you're able to speak about it publicly. Some wounds may be too fresh for you to maybe discuss. So if that is you, I hope you take that little tool and put it in your toolbox. Hold off on being public and sharing and speaking to something that you maybe aren't ready to share yet. I'm really big about sharing your story. That's what I try to do here on this podcast, and being transparent about some things. But your relationship and the health of it comes first over sharing your story, and you cannot speak from a place that you are still bleeding. Excuse me. So now that we've got that out of the way, we can dive into some of the lessons that I saw as I watched the red table. And of course, the entanglement is the buzzword. You know, they got entanglement candles, they got entanglement songs out. It's just crazy right now. It's blowing up and it's everywhere. But really, I feel like there is a deeper lesson that we can learn from listening to that red table. And the first one that I would say is guard your relationship. So I'm going to start with guard your relationship because it sounds like the singer was a friend of the family, and he came to the family in a troubled space. Like, they didn't go into what was going on with him, but he came to the family. Maybe he confided in Jada specifically, looking to get fulfilled or healed or get help. In the process, what it sounds like is that Jada was helping him. So they had some type of platonic relationship. And then later on, as she maybe helped him with whatever the issues that he had going on, their relationship changed into something of an entanglement. And the reason why I'm saying guard your relationship is because you may be an active duty member who's listening to this, and in your shop, you may be working very closely along some people, and you may be helping them, and you feel great that you're able to come to the aid of a person that you are working with. Be cautious of those relationships. Be careful and guard your marriage to things that pose a threat to them, because you may find a certain sense of fulfillment from your job or the work that you're doing. And you can relate that to finding fulfillment in the person that you are helping. So that means you're getting something outside of your marriage that you should be getting inside of your marriage. And that's when you crack that door for relationships to transition, like August and Jada's was. Yikes, we don't want that. And the same thing like spouses. You may be helping volunteer and serving in different capacity, and it gives you joy, and you're excited about it, and it lights you up. It makes you feel like you have purpose, and all of a sudden you find yourself in an entanglement with someone you were serving with, and you're not sure how you maybe got there. Be careful. Guard your marriage relationship. If there's ever a person that kind of stands out, and that you're getting a little close to, or you're starting to have different feelings towards them, or maybe you're not bringing them up to your significant other. You don't want to talk about them because you don't want them to know some of the details of your relationship. That's a problem. That's a warning sign that's flashing. You need to pay attention to those things. And if you want to have a strong marriage, that's something that you need to watch and guard against, and be transparent with your significant other and talk about. I mean, Will and Jada aren't the ideal relationship in this, and I mean, they're not trying to be, right? But as we learned in the red table, they mutually agreed to separate during this time. You know, it even said in the episode that Jada was gonna go find her way to get happy over here, and Will was gonna go find his way to get happy over there. They never said, you know, what Will did, or we only know this August situation from Jada, but it was clear that they were on the same page about being separated during the time. And I feel like that level of communication is needed when you're on a break and when you're not on a break. You know, you have to guard your relationship and be on the same page when it comes to potential people who pose a threat to your relationship, maybe due to lack of fulfillment. The next part of the story that I thought was really big, and you had to kind of catch it to realize what the lesson in it is. Jada made a pretty profound statement, or at least I thought she did. And one of the things that she mentioned as she was talking to Will at the red table was, you can't find happiness outside of yourself. I'll say that again. You can't find happiness outside of yourself. Oftentimes we look to other people to make us happy. And in our humanity, we are flawed. And I mean, I'm a God girl, so I love the foundation of scripture that I can use to process things like this. But man will fail you time and time again. We are born in sin. We are imperfect. We will fail one another. Like, you can have expectations all day long of a person and you will get let down. That's just kind of how this thing works. And she had to learn this the hard way, because I think she was trying to find her happiness in her marriage. And I know that sounds crazy. No, you should not be looking for your happiness in your marriage. Jada tried to find it in Will. It didn't work. She tried to find it in August, apparently, and that didn't work either. She had to find it in herself. She had to do the work to figure it out. And unfortunately, I mean, she doesn't seem remorseful because she learned the lesson, but we don't want that to be us, right? We don't want to have to go through a tough situation like this to figure out how to find happiness in ourselves. We have to do the work. And that may be counseling. That may be prayer. That may be looking in the mirror and being okay with your flaws, your strengths, knowing yourself. It takes work, but you have to know that you want to seek joy, not just happiness, because happiness is a feeling and you can't really trust your feelings. Seek joy in your life. Find peace with yourself by doing the work and loving the person that you're looking in the mirror. So I love that Jada said that in the interview, that you can't find happiness outside of yourself. So that's the second thing from the red table. And the third thing, which I think I absolutely love the most, is that they were together at that table, which was huge to me. Like, they were together at the table. And I know the situation, yes, they were airing it out. She was telling her story, giving her truth. But at the end of the episode, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Will asked her a question like, did you, and I'm paraphrasing, so listen to the episode to get the verbatim version of it. But do you remember, this is what he asked Jada, do you remember that I told you that I would love you through anything? And Jada, you know, she even said, like, when he said that early in their relationship, she didn't believe him because she was hard to love. And in being hard to love, I guess she just didn't feel that he'd be able to accomplish that. And it's awesome to see that 23 years later, he did. It hasn't been a perfect picture. It hasn't been a perfect road, but at the end of the day, they were still high-fiving and still together at the table. How many of us can say that we would still be together at the table walking through something like that? Because that is one of the hardest situations to walk through as a married couple. Think about it. Would you still be sitting at that table after walking through that publicly? Because remember, they are public figures. And I know they maybe didn't ask for it, but they have followers. So and a following, so therefore they are leaders in some way, shape, or form. They are being transparent about an intimate part of their life, their marriage, and they are able to go through all those obstacles and still sit at that table together. That's huge. So those are the 3 takeaways. I hope you all have gleaned something from seeing their relationship, getting a peek in on what's going on, and that you can know that more than just an entanglement, you should take away the fact that you should guard your relationship, that you can't find happiness outside of yourself, and that you want to be at the table together at the end of the day. Military Marriage Day is on August the 14th, and I am excited that the news is finally out. So our presenting sponsors are Armed Forces Insurance and First Command. We will have a virtual celebration on August the 14th, and you are not going to want to miss out. How can you stay connected, you're wondering? Don't worry, I've got you. Just go to www.militarymarriageday.com. You can register, RSVP if you will, and find out all there is to know about the celebration. This is our first year that we will be celebrating Military Marriage Day, and you won't want to miss the amazing giveaways and activities that we have lined up starting on August 7th, leading all the way up to Military Marriage Day, which is August the 14th. Make sure you RSVP, and we can't wait to share more of what we have coming for Military Marriage Day. Okay, everyone, you know what time it is. It is time to EYS, Earn Your Stripes. So we talked all about Will and Jada being at that red table, and I really want you to listen to the lessons that are in that story. No, Jada wasn't actually honest up front about it, but when they came to the red table, they were transparent about the tough conversations that they had behind the scenes. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to have your own entanglement conversation. So here it is. I'm going to guide you through with these 2 simple questions. 1, is an entanglement acceptable? It's straightforward. I know you may think it's something that you don't have to ask, but a lot of times people assume they know the answer to this, and they don't. Let's have a healthy conversation about it. The second question, what are appropriate or inappropriate activities with the opposite sex or same sex? I know these are challenging conversations, so walk through them with grace. Sit down, EYS. Let's go. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to rate, subscribe, and review. This is Hearts and Stripes. We are the few, the proud, that aim high and are forged by love. Always ready, always there. We are Mill Marriage Strong.